This is Aquaria, a glorious underwater kingdom located at the edge of the continent Levingrum, and it all began with wood. No it didn't. It began with soil. Soil, right, yes, soil. And it all began with soil, or earth. Actually, this is aqua soil. So, aqua earth? Can they do that? Evidently they can. Aqua earth. And then wood? Yes, then wood. Like most ecosystems, ours starts with flora. A plethora of flora was used to add variety and interest to Aquaria. Rotunda rotundifolia was used in the background to add depth and color. Dwarf sage was peppered around the main piece of wood. Yay! Java moss was tied to the higher parts of the wood using cotton string. Java ferns were wedged into the crevices of the wood. Dwarf hairgrass was added in the foreground and the left corner. Some bucephalandra was also wedged in crevices of the wood and the seriostone. Some Ludwigia super red was also peppered. And of course, Sirswashertongs. This plant. The first group of fauna that came called themselves Shrimp of Blue Dreams. Some were bluer than others, and some but dreamed of being blue, and some did not have a care in the world for blues or others. They were just happy doing their disco dance of food. That same day, a couple came to the kingdom. Snails of Ramshorn, they were called. And as soon as they came, they got busy. Very busy. A bit too busy, actually. A while later, a group of pygmies came to the kingdom. Cories of the Doras. A fun-loving, whimsical bunch. And they were also good at dancing. The group that followed were fabulous. Tetras of the Grenion. There was peace and good times in the kingdom. Everyone got along well. The Tetras, the Cories, even those who dream of blue. Until one faithful morning, one of the Grenions, his name is Kyle, fell ill. The Great Ick, they called it. And icky it was. After much deliberation, the Tetras of Grenion agreed to exile Kyle for a while for the good of the kingdom. 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 They said their goodbyes and parted ways, for Kyle was to make the great pilgrimage to the farther side of the microverse, the great nation of Crustacea. As his eyes focus, he sees a familiar figure in an unfamiliar color. Those of the Red Cherry were fabulous dancers, passing dances down from generation to generation. Kyle was not in a dancey mood. Days later, Kyle began to dance. As he danced, the waters of Crustacea granted him +10 recovery and +10 rejuvenation. Word of Kyle's miraculous recovery made its way back to the kingdom. The Tetras of Grenion sent for their compatriot, for they could not bear to be apart. Ooh, a life form! Did you know that this video was made for life forms? If you want to keep seeing videos about life forms, hit buttons, hit any button. Buttons. He bid those of the Red Cherry goodbye and began his long journey. And after what seemed to have been an eternity of travel, there it was, Aquaria, and the Grenions were made whole again. Upon his return, Kyle noticed much hath changed in the kingdom, for time passes differently in the microverse. A human life form day is like a year in the microverse, and a fortnight had passed in human life form time. In Aquaria, it was a 4th year. Flora flourished, and at the corner of his eye, Kyle saw citizens he did not recognize. The Autos of Synclus. Curious fellows that grew attached to the kingdom in Kyle's exile. It was another 4th year before the kingdom saw travelers. Clowns of the Killy tribe. The bigger male wastes no time establishing his dominion over the kingdom. The Aquarians valued strength, but valued confidence even more. And Maximus, yes, his name was Maximus, was the strongest, most confident in all of Aquaria. Maximus started engaging all in his path. Gladiatorial games were his jammy jam. The Granions were infamous for speed, and while they were swift, they did not wish to engage in gladiatorial games. The smaller, less confident Killian, Minimus, presented a prime target, and whenever Minimus would go foraging for food, there Maximus was. Minimus would run and hide and ask the great being Lifeform to help end his suffering. Lifeform took pity on poor defenseless Minimus and quickly found a place for Minimus and his mate Minima to take refuge. And thus Minima and Minimus had to, as Aquarians have done for 40 years, make the great pilgrimage. This time, thanks to Kyle's diplomacy and sweet dance moves, they were guaranteed asylum in the embassy of the nation of Crustacea. And all they had to do was learn to dance. If you want to know why this crab scares the bejesus out of me, click here. If you want to see more shenanigans, here's a playlist. And if you haven't yet, click this button. Yeah, that one there. This one.